Welcome back to the second episode of the best games of the decade. Today we will be talking about the top 80 till 51 and see which games made it. This video should be a lot shorter than the last one, as I'm just gonna discuss them really quickly, much faster than last time. So let's get started. Number 80 is the Stanley Parable because it's really funny. Number 79 is Diablo 3 and the Reaper of Souls expansion because the action is really addicting and just really fun. Number 78 is Final Fantasy because it became really good over time, especially Final Fantasy 14. Number 77 is Football Manager, which gives improvements every single year rather than releasing the same exact game every year and just asking another €60. Number 76 is Control. It's a very refreshing game with really cool and interesting powers, and the atmosphere and visuals are amazing, and the story is also pretty good. Number 75 is Enter the Gungeon. Enter the Gungeon is a really good roguelike game with a lot of guns and a lot of puns, and I really appreciate that. Number 74 is Obsidian's Pillars of Eternity. The CRPG genre really saw a revival this decade, and Pillars of Eternity was really amazing. It was crowdfunded and they really listened to the people that paid for the game. Number 73 is Driver San Francisco. It's a driving game and it has some really original ideas which makes it really amazing. In first sight it doesn't look that special, but when you go through the story and try the multiplayer, if you still can, it's absolutely amazing. Number 72 is PUBG, the first actually good battle royale game. No offense to H1Z1, maybe a little bit. Number 71 is Factorio. It's probably the ugliest game on this list. However, the gameplay is nearly perfect. Number 70 is Dirt. It's technically the Colin McRae series, but Rally isn't that good. But Dirt is actually fantastic, so it's just Dirt 3 and Dirt 4. Number 69 is Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem had two really good games. Back in 2013 was fantastic, and this year the new one is also really good. Number 68 is Animal Crossing, because not everything has to be violent. Number 67 is Warframe. The game really grew since its release and it's absolutely amazing now. The community is still very big, though it is very hard for new players to get into. Number 66 is Apex Legends because it has actual interesting characters in a battle royale game, which no other battle royale game has. Number 65 is Devil May Cry. Devil May Cry had some really amazing games this decade, including this year, and it absolutely deserves this spot. Number 64 is Street Fighter. It made a really good comeback this decade, and it absolutely deserves this spot as well, just like all the other games. Really, it's really amazing. Number 63 is Assassin's Creed Brotherhood till Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Number 62 is Terraria because it's really fun and also extremely addicting. Path of Exile is number 61, which is probably my favorite looter-based game. Number 60 is Disco Elysium. It's a really interesting game. It has a really weird atmosphere. I think for most people it gets boring really quickly, but if you enjoy reading and story and making decisions, this game is absolutely perfect. Number 59 is Horizon Zero Dawn. It's just really fun to play. Number 58 is Forza. I'm not into racing games at all. However, Forza seems to be considered the best in general, so it also has the best rating from all the racing games. Number 57 is Resident Evil. At the beginning of the decade, it wasn't really considered very good. However, with both Resident Evil 7 from 2017 and Resident Evil 2 from this year, it really claimed the spot for the best horror survival game. Number 56 is Hearthstone. It's just a really good card game. Number 55 is South Park. And no, I haven't actually played Fractured But Whole, but the Stick of Truth was really amazing. It had really good gameplay and, well, a weird South Park kind of story. Number 54 is Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. It's a really interesting kind of short story that kind of drives you insane, but it's super fun and it's really immersive, and I can only recommend playing it. Number 53 is Dragon Age. Now, Dragon Age 2 was basically the first game where BioWare got a lot of flack for because it wasn't really, story-wise, it wasn't really good, even though the gameplay was absolutely fantastic. Dragon Age Inquisition was pretty much loved, even though nowadays people say it's really boring. I think they're both really amazing games, and maybe not as good as Origin was back in 2008 or 2009, but it's still really good. Number 52 is Dragon Ball. Now, Dragon Ball had some very interesting titles with Xenoverse 1 and Xenoverse 2, but also Fighters, which were all three really good games, especially for the Dragon Ball series. I think most people wouldn't put it right this high, especially not above Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter. but I just liked it a lot more. Number 51 is Cities Skyline. All you need to know about this game, it's a much better version of SimCity. Number 50 is Dota 2. Dota 2 is probably one of the bigger esports titles that came out this decade. Personally, it's not for me at all, but it is a really good game and a lot of people love it, so it does deserve this spot in the top 50. Number 49 is the Total War franchise, which is absolutely amazing. It had some really good titles this decade. Even this year, it had the Three Kings, which is absolutely amazing. Number 48 is Uncharted. I don't think the franchise is as good as it used to be. However, it is still really good and very enjoyable to play, and it's still very much recommended. Number 47 is Nier Automata or Automata or Automata? Automata. Number 46 is Far Cry. I'm not gonna lie, it's mostly because of Far Cry 3 because I absolutely love that game and it really surprised me. Number 45 is Spider-Man. I don't think it's quite as good as some people say it is. However, it is definitely a very good game and it deserves to be recognized as one of the best games of the decade. And when it comes to superhero games, it's probably the best. Number 44 is Monster Hunter. This game always seemed very interesting to me, but I never actually played it until Monster Hunter World, which is an absolutely amazing game and I recommend it highly. I highly recommend it rather. Number 43 is TFT, but you can also put Dota Underlords here or Auto Chess, because I think if you get into one, they're all basically the same. For me personally, TFT was just the one I played the most. I played like one game of Underlords. I never played Auto Chess, but this genre is absolutely amazing and I hope to see a lot more of this, and I'm really excited to see where it goes because it's really good so far. Number 42 is Metal Gear Solid. I was never a Metal Gear Solid fan and Metal Gear Solid 5 wasn't really an exception, but the game is still really good. The gameplay looks really good. I didn't actually play it, but it looks really good and the graphics are amazing and the story is fine. Really. Number 41 is a game that completely blew me away. It's called This War of Mine. I think a lot of people played it and had similar experiences. It really tries and succeeds in making you feel bad, but it's just really fun to play. Also, they've kept updating the game over like the 5 or 6 years it's been out. It's absolutely fantastic. I love when developers do that. Thank you very much for watching this episode of the best games of the decade. Make sure to like the video and subscribe if you want to. I'll be in Madrid for a week for the RLCS, so next week the video will probably be late. Yeah, but we're almost there. And thank you very much for watching again. Have a good day.